Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLadysigner and we are back with another speed build video of our city zoo. And for this one, I'm actually quite excited because this is an animal we've never built a habitat before. But this one is a little bit special. This habitat is for the Dall Sheep, and the Dall Sheeps are known for being pretty good climbers. They're more mountain animals. So yeah, we had to make sure that we got a very cool habitat for them. So it would actually a little bit resemble the bit of the mountains and stuff and give them an area to really climb on. So this area is actually almost completely made out of rocks and different elevations and different layers. So they also have a little cave underneath the rocks to to stay dry or anything if they want to. But this also just has a lot of different layers to walk on. And obviously in the game as Planet Zoo, those animals don't really roam just to roam. You mostly have to make sure that they have a reason to go to the top. So that was quite a challenge actually. But I, in the end, just ended up with putting some hay beddings on one area, which also makes sure that they will actually go there and sleep there. And also on a different section, I just put down a lot of food enrichment items or just a feeding tray to really make sure that they would actually really use all the different layers. So that is really cool. I actually tried it first with I'm not really sure how it's called again. It's like that really little thing that you can put down, which is some kind of pheromone or something. I totally forgot the name of it, but that doesn't matter. But that one didn't really work for my feelings. I'm really curious if for you guys that actually ever works. I know that I try to use them a lot more often, but I just never see animals really go in there because they smell it or anything. So I'm actually curious if that enrichment item really has a purpose or not. I really have no idea. But anyways, I'm really, checking the traversable area a lot, of course, because every time you put down a rock, you can potentially just ruin their whole traversable area. So it's really important to really check that traversable area as much as possible. But what is also really cool is that they're also pretty good jumpers. So whenever you put down a normal rock a little bit higher, they are still able to jump on it. So I just really like that feature. Also something I noticed, which is just a side note, but you can really tell that if they walk on rock areas with their hooves, that you can really hear that hoof sound. That was just something that really popped up to me, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a really cool feature. I really like that they added that little detail in the game. I think they did this with each and every animal, but I never really noticed it that much because most of the hooved animals just have a nice grassy area. But it was just really cool to see that the Dall Sheep really makes a different clicking sound when they are walking on rocky areas. So that is really cool. Also, to make it a little bit more fit, of course, in the land of the cold area where we are building right now, is to add a bit more of snow layers. So I use a lot of the snow rock to create a feeling that you have snowy areas in this mountain area. And in the end, I actually felt like it was a little bit too small, like because you have this big area with a lot of different rocks, you also reduce a lot of their traversable area. So I really wanted to make sure that they had enough space, like the requirements are met for those animals. So in the end, I felt like I wanted to have some kind of path going through the habitat and have some kind of lowered area for the Dall Sheep to walk from one side to the other side. This was a little bit of a challenge because at first I built the path and it was actually a little bit too thin for my taste. So especially if it's getting busier in this area of the zoo, you would get like a lot of bottlenecks and stuff with a lot of guests walking in a certain area. So in the end, I had to make it a little bit bigger, and it was quite a challenge to really make the path work together with like their underground. Well, it's not really an underground section. It's just a section where they could walk underneath the path. But I really just like how that one has turned out, and they're not able to escape or anything, so that is really nice. And I also made sure that definitely for the kids, there are also some glass walls on the sides of the path to make sure that the kids can also look into the habitat at some specific areas. So the first area is more of like a mountain feeling, and the other side is also a little bit more of a mountain, but it's a bit lower. And I also wanted to have some kind of cave area on that side. So the people basically just look into a cave area, or at least some kind of shelter area. I think that is more a better word for it. And the Dall Sheeps are also still able to just walk to a higher layer on that side, and they also have a few rocks to really jump on. So I really like that idea. What I also did is that I really wanted to try and use the forced perspective idea that Mike Sheets did with the Japanese macaque. Obviously I'm not as good as Mike is, but I used those little small trees. I'm not really sure what the name of them is. I think they're Asian trees, so they don't really fit the theme of the Dall Sheep, but I just really wanted to use them because these are the only trees that have that really small trees and like in different height variations. So I really just wanted to use those guys to create some kind of forced perspective that you really feel like the mountains are really high, and like the closer the trees get, the bigger the trees are. So I tried to do that, and I'm really happy with how everything is looking so far. It has been super fun to create a habitat like this for an animal that is just able to jump and climb that high, and I'm really happy to see how it works. Even though if you would look into a real life zoo, the Dall Sheep would have just more of only separate rocks where they could just climb on, but I was like, yeah, well, I don't think that is really going to work with the Dall Sheep. I actually should have tried it, but in the end I also just wanted to make sure that was just one path going up a little bit hidden in between some other rocks to at least give them some kind of pathway to go up onto the mountain. But I'm really happy with how this one has turned out, and I feel like this is just something a little bit more special and different in the land of the cold area. Like, I'm really happy with how the polar bear habitat has turned out. Like, it's super big and huge, and it has so many different variations in the theming. And the other habitats, like for the Arctic wolf and the American bison, they are a little bit more plain habitats together with like the reindeer habitat. Even though we still try to do some different variations in the habitats, like some have overpasses, some have like caves underneath the path or anything like that. So yeah, everything has a different variation in it, but this habitat is definitely more special. I don't think we have any other habitat that actually looks the same and works the same like this, so that is just really cool. So yeah, I'm really curious, and I hope you guys like it and you get some inspiration out of it. I think the Dall Sheep is, I know that a lot of people love the Dall Sheep, but a lot of people also really, I think they're pretty much underrated, and especially for a game like in Planet Zoo, it's actually quite fun to have a different type of animal like this. And I only just now realized that because I was never really interested in the Dall Sheep, but now that I put them down, I'm like, yeah, this is actually really cool to build a habitat for in this way. So yeah, I'm just really curious what you guys think of this new Dall Sheep habitat entering the land of the cold. In the next episode, we're also already streaming the habitat build for this one, is for the Snow Leopard. So I'm really excited for that because we're going to use a little bit of inspiration of the Jacksonville Zoo. And yeah, I'm just really happy that we're going to add the Snow Leopard in this land of the cold region. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you want to see more of the slow build, I am going to stream more often on Twitch, so definitely follow me there if you would like to see more slow build live streams and just for a fun chit chat. I really just love to communicate with you guys and have some fun, so definitely join me there if you haven't already. Please leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe of course if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel a little bit extra, you may want to consider to also become a Fay Fam member with the link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really look forward to read your comments and tips and suggestions. Everything you want to tell me, definitely let me know in the comments down below. And I really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys!